scares me to death that it could go on for the rest of my life. I mean, that's a possibility that I don't want to face.
In tonight's special report, a young woman seemingly vanished, and now 4 years later, her parents are going to great lengths to learn the truth.
Laura Saxton and Doug Schelling have been missing their daughter Kelsie every minute of every day and wondering what happened. Here are the facts first. 21-year-old Kelsie Schelling disappeared February 4th of 2013. She was 8 weeks pregnant at the time and had driven down to Pueblo from Denver to meet her boyfriend, Dante Lucas.
But something happened that night, and she was never seen or heard from again. That is, until recently. Fox 21's Abby Burke joins us now with who has been able to connect with Kelsie. Abby, what can you tell us?
Well, Scott and Lauren, after years of searching for Kelsie, it's a case that seems to have gone cold. But Pueblo police say it's still very active, and now new help has come to the case. Different detectives in the Pueblo Police Department and a psychic who says he can see through Kelsie's eyes.
We're here today to remember.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
4 years later, a community comes together to show that Kelsie Schelling has not been forgotten.
After 4 years, it's so nice to see that so many people still care. And I hope you know how much it means to our family to see this turn out today.
The 21-year-old vanished February 4, 2013, after traveling to this Walmart in Pueblo on Northern Avenue. It was late at night, and she was supposed to be meeting her boyfriend, Dante Lucas. She had just found out the day before she was 8 weeks pregnant with his child.
His reaction was not good, according to her.
Dante didn't show, and after over an hour of waiting, Kelsie drove over to his house on Manor Ridge Road. What actually happened next, only a select few know, and for now, no one is talking. But Troy Griffin, a psychic medium out of Westminster, has an idea.
It's almost like I see and feel what happened to her.
Griffin has worked on more than 100 missing persons cases all over the world and says he immediately felt a connection when he saw a photo of Kelsie.
I really connect through the eyes, and so for me, it was this picture that I really connected with and just knew, she shouldn't have died.
Even though Griffin works on the majority of his missing person cases for free, he says he stayed away from Kelsie's case until her mother came to him last September.
I didn't approach it because you get a lot of psychics approaching these cases. A lot of people want money, answers, and so I kind of stayed away. I had a client that referred Kelsie's mom to me.
Our first meeting made me know that I at least needed to explore it, because I did feel like he had made a connection with her. When we first met, we talked for 3 hours, and he told me some things that really struck me, and that was why I decided to go ahead and give it a chance.
February 5th, 2013, the day after Kelsie vanished, her car reappears. First at the Canyon National Bank in Pueblo, where surveillance video shows it's being driven by Dante, who then removes $400 cash from Kelsie's account, according to bank records. The car is then taken back to Walmart, where Dante leaves it. Surveillance video shows him walking to the back of the store, where he is picked up by his mother and grandmother. But where is Kelsie? Could she still be inside the car? The car sits untouched until the following morning, when this unknown man approaches it, opens the door, and drives off. 7 days later, Kelsie's car was discovered here at St. Mary Corwin's Hospital. It seemed like a big breakthrough until they realized there was still no trace of Kelsie.
Once her car was found abandoned, that's pretty much when I knew that something really horrible had to have happened, because she never would have left her car, so that was a horrible day.
As the last person to see Kelsie alive and the last known person to drive her car, Dante Lucas quickly finds his way to the top of the list of people Pueblo police want to talk to. Dante is a local boy who attended Central High School, where he stood out as a basketball star. He had dreams of one day playing for the NBA. Dreams Griffin believes were threatened by a baby.
I think he was influenced by his mother.
What kind of influence did she have?
Power, control, He was going to be the basketball star. She was in low income, and I think it was her way out. And I think that having a girlfriend that's pregnant would have ruined his career in her eyes.
What was his reaction when she disappeared?
Nothing. There was no reaction, no alarm, no, nothing. Kelsie and his child are missing, and there was nothing. There was basically no emotional reaction whatsoever.
Griffin believes that late February night in Pueblo, Dante tried to talk Kelsie into an abortion, but she refused, which led to a big argument.
The thing that I saw with Kelsie is strangulation, possibly injury to the head, argument, fear, probably an act of rage. So in this particular case, I felt like she was strangled. I think it started in the car. I know she was drugged down the hallway.
When Kelsie's mother, Laura, showed Griffin a photo of the hallway at Dante's house,
I could not look at that picture. When I get a really strong hit or just feel something happened or evil there, I can't breathe and I hyperventilate and I almost get, I get nauseated.
Griffin says he believes Kelsie put up a fight.
And I asked Laura, I said, who taught Kelsie how to fight? Was my specific question to her, and she said her dad taught her self-defense. So she did fight back.
Griffin says she fought for her life and for her baby.
She was so happy about the baby. I mean, she was so excited about the baby and so looking forward to being a mom.
Kelsie even had a name picked out, Cadre.
Although we don't know the sex of the baby, we just felt like the baby deserved an identity, and since that's a name that she had, that she really liked, we went ahead and we used that.
Dante was eventually arrested for identity theft for using Kelsie's debit card, but a month later, the charges were dropped. He was then named a person of interest in the case, but no arrests have ever been made relating to Kelsie's disappearance.
I think.
Stick with us. We'll have much more on this story coming up a little later in the show. We continue tonight with our special report, the search for Kelsie Schelling, the broken relationship with the Pueblo Police Department, and the hope moving forward.
She was so happy about the baby. I mean, she was so excited about the baby and so looking forward to being a mom.
Kelsie even had a name picked out, Cadre.
Although we don't know the sex of the baby, we just felt like the baby deserved an identity, and since that's a name that she had, that she really liked, we went ahead and we used that.
Dante was eventually arrested for identity theft for using Kelsie's debit card, but a month later, the charges were dropped. He was then named a person of interest in the case, but no arrests have ever been made relating to Kelsie's disappearance.
I think everybody kind of believes that, there are members of the family that, at the very least have knowledge, at the very least could be accessories. But Dante's the only one that's ever been actually named a person of interest.
Do you have a message for him if he was watching?
Yeah, there's a lot I'd like to say to him, but it's really hard. I mean, I don't know how he lives with this. I don't, if not for Kelsie's sake, for the baby's sake, please let them come home. Please let us bring them home, do the right thing. And I know he probably hates us as much as we hate him right now because we haven't let up and we haven't gone away, and we're not going to. So, this needs to come to an end, and he needs to at least love his child enough to not let his child be discarded like a piece of garbage.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now!
As the case stalls, tensions rise between Kelsie's family and the Pueblo Police Department.
The mother of a Colorado woman who went missing the day after she texted a photo of her 8-week ultrasound to her boyfriend is suing not just his family, but police and the city as well.
It's been rough. It's been really rough, and so the relationship was probably good for about a month, and after that it just really started falling apart and just crumbled over time.
According to a report, a fisherman here at Lake Minnequaw told Pueblo police that he reeled in what he believed looked like a human torso. Pueblo police told me they looked into the report and that a body was never found.
This Pueblo Police Department I'm very concerned about.
Griffin continues to look into the case and says he started questioning how the investigation was being handled.
She never paid the rent on time. Starting February of 2013, he started to get the rent on time and never had to call her again. Later in the year, he got a notice from the electric company that the utilities were shut off. Went over to the property, disgusting. They had to pull up the carpet. They pulled up the carpet in one of the bedrooms, and underneath the carpet was a blood stain that didn't soak through the pad because it's coated, but soaked through the carpet. The landlord called the Pueblo Police Department, and the Pueblo Police Department told him that they don't deal with that and they're not CSI Miami. And that's in the actual police report. And so this is what I'm dealing with, where I say I'm not too sure about the police department. But could you imagine being a parent and hearing that?
Oh, I mean, we were so angry and so frustrated.
In fact, Kelsie's parents were so angry, they filed a lawsuit against the city of Pueblo, the Pueblo police officers working on Kelsie's case at the time, and Dante Lucas and his family.
The police are protected by qualified immunity, and so yes, it ultimately was thrown out.
Another dead end. Refusing to give up, both Griffin and Kelsie's family try to get the case transferred to the Colorado Bureau of Investigations, but Pueblo PD refuses to hand it off.
To me, they're not doing the right thing. You've had almost 4 years to work on it. You have another agency that is willing to take it on, and you won't do it. What's it come down to? You know, is it because of all the bad mistakes you made? Is it the ego? Is it, you know, you want that little star on your shoulder, you know, and that's just not right.
I hate to say we're stuck with them, but we are stuck with them because they're not going to turn Kelsie's case fully over to CBI. We've asked many times, and you know, they just said they're not going to. So basically we have to try and make it work with them.
Laura says they are trying to move forward and put the past behind them.
We have to try and do what we can to make the relationship better and give them the chance to make up for what did and did not occur.
I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
This year, on the 4th anniversary of Kelsie's disappearance, police and Kelsie's family come together in a show of solidarity.
A lot of you I know have asked and are wondering why we're here today with, you know, the Pueblo Police Department. So Pueblo PD is and will remain the lead investigative agency on Kelsie's case. There's new leadership over Kelsie's case with Captain Eric Bravo, and he has promised to us his dedication to investigating Kelsie's case and bringing it to resolution, leaving no stone unturned.
As hard as it is, after everything we've been through, we're trying to let the past go, not forgetting it, but just trying to move forward, trying to give him a chance to keep his word and do what he says he's going to do.
The pain in their voice is not lost on us.
The new eyes on the case hesitant to cast blame.
I do not think that mistakes were made. The case was worked very hard. I do think that communication might have been better.
And insistent Pueblo police can still solve the case.
We're committed to collecting the truth and evidence that supports the truth.
Laura says it's hard to continue fighting, but it's a fight she won't quit.
If I ever did quit, I don't know how I would live with myself. I mean, this is my child. How could I give up on her?
The answers are out there, and the family says it's time for people to come forward.
We know there's somebody out there. We know there's a few people, I'm sure, that know where she's at.
The case now personal for a lot more than just Kelsie's family.
I want the Lucas family to be nervous about what I'm doing.
Griffin says he believes he can see where Kelsie was taken last and may still be today.
Google Maps just led me a place in Pueblo Reservoir that I thought was very interesting. I haven't had a chance to go there yet. It's almost like I see through her eyes what's around that area. It may not be Pueblo, but I know exactly what I'm looking for.
And he's not going to stop looking either.
And I will follow it through, even if it's years.
I believe there are people who know what happened, who know where Kelsie is, and I just beg of them to please, you know, it can be anonymous. They can call Crime Stoppers. It will never be known who they are. You know, we can find a way to get the reward to them if they want the reward. You know, just please bring this to an end. 4 years is just too long.
For the month of February, in honor of what would be Kelsie's 26th birthday, the family is now offering a $100,000 reward for Kelsie's return or her location. If you have any information, you're asked to call Pueblo Police or Pueblo Crime Stoppers. Pueblo Police told me while they are not handing the case over to CBI, they have asked for their assistance and will now work alongside them. We attempted to reach Dante and his family, but they did not return our calls, and neighbors told us they recently have moved out of the area.